There has been a major trade update regarding the likelihood of Kevin Durant coming to the Houston Rockets this offseason, and this situation seems to not even be what we originally thought. And in this video, we are going to break down why that is and what the outlook for GM Rafael Şengün seems to be this offseason. Hello, everybody. I am Donovan Ricondo. I'm your host for Rockets Digest, where we break down all the latest news, rumors, and updates regarding your H-Town team. And if you want to stay in the loop with all your Rockets news and updates throughout the entire offseason, that's free agency, the draft, trades, hit that subscribe button below. We are going to cover all of that on this channel. And today we are going to talk about a very important update regarding the Houston Rockets and Kevin Durant. You've heard about it all season, him possibly coming to the Houston Rockets, being unhappy in Phoenix, Arizona. And so we're going to give you a brand new insight. This is brand new coming from Mark Stein and his program, the Stein Line. And he says, I'm going to jump to the middle of this quote here, that third line, suggests that Houston's trade interest in Kevin Durant continues to be overstated. Again, the Houston Rockets' trade interest in Kevin Durant seems to be overstated. It was strongly conveyed to the Stein Line going into the playoffs that a Houston trade pursuit of Durant had become even less likely than previously thought. He goes on to say, right, that the consistent Durant to Houston rumors are basically just a function of Houston having so many Phoenix draft picks that it simply makes sense from a logical perspective. The Rockets have expressed no formal interest in Durant, and in fact, it seems more like the opposite. Houston is not interested at all. Wow. This is a huge update. This to me signals where this team is at from a team perspective heading into this offseason. Now, I doubt they're going to make any moves before the NBA draft lottery. That is going to have a major effect on what Houston decides to do, whether they get Cooper Flag, whether they get someone that they think, a shooter that they think can help propel this team in the playoffs, whatever the case may be for that. But for this report to say that Houston seems to not even have interest at all is immense, because all season we heard about KD, him coming to the Rockets. And again, he brought up from a logical perspective, it kind of makes sense because you have their picks. He doesn't want to be there. You know that Houston Rockets need a score. And so from logically, okay, yes. I mean, some of you might say illogically because KD is 37 years old and he's injury prone and maybe bad for the culture, blah, blah, blah. And so you might be thinking, what the hell are you talking about logically? And to your credit, you're probably not wrong. But I do think it's interesting that after what has transpired in the playoffs, that the Houston Rockets may not even be looking in Durant's direction. Now, of course, this report was before the playoffs. You know, this is before the collapse of Jalen Green as our number one scorer. So there's always a possibility that has changed, that this report is now changed because we are now out of the playoffs. We are a first round exit. And it's become clear that we need to have someone who is more reliably our prime scorer. Now, the question is how to do that. Is it getting this future Hall of Famer, 37 years old, KD? Or is it acquiring shooters and spreading the floor, making defenses want to guard that and not give up all these drives to the paint from a guy like Jalen Green, from a guy like Şengün, a guy like Amen Thompson? And so what I think this report does is really clarify that. The fact that they're not even talking to KD. They haven't even called his line. They haven't even emailed him. Nothing. Sent him a tweet. Whatever. Nothing has been done. And I think this is less of KD is washed. Because as you know, people like to say, oh, he's washed. He's gone. He's never going to win a championship. And that may be true, the championship part, but by no means is this man, washed or a scrub, 26.6, 6 rebounds, 4.2 assists, 1.2 blocks. For all intents and purposes, this man is playing. I mean, for a 36 and 219-year old man, is playing phenomenal basketball. Like I want to give credit to where credit is due. But the fact remains that it seems that the GM Rafael Stone has a huge amount of trust in this young core. Because this young core, you got guys like Alperen Şengün, whose contract extension is coming up in just a few moments. Jalen Green too. You're picking up most likely the team option on Fred VanVleet, given the discussion and discourse that they had post game after their Game 7 loss. And if you sign a guy like KD, his contract, if you were to get him this first year, is $55 million. That's $55 million you are adding to your salary. Of course, you'd be getting rid of some guys, of course. But that is a hefty amount of money for this man. I'm not saying he's not worth it, because a team is going to be willing to pay that amount of money, be worth it to them. But in terms of the Houston Rockets, that might not be what they want. Especially with all these contracts with these young guys that they have coming up in just a few years. And of course, Kevin Durant may also be looking for some sort of extension, 2 more years in Houston. And I feel like if the Houston Rockets sign him, they are going to give that extension. It would make no sense to just have him for that 1 year. So that's money. That costs money. Is that an investment that they are looking to make? And from this report by Mark Stein, it says that they are not even interested at all. That we have been, every media outlet talking about this happening is not even close, not even way off, hasn't even been reached, not even being contacted. And I think a lot of this goes back to this quote that Rafael Stone had said all the way back in December. And I think is a key factor in terms of where this franchise is at mentally. And I think you've seen that within the last 2 years with the hiring of Ime Udoka, that this isn't a team that is going to overreact or make a move that I feel that they would have made 10 years ago. This is a totally different organization. Of course, GM Rafael Stone coming in totally changed that entire outlook. But I want to get to what he says right here. He says, of course, my job is to be open to anything. So I'm not going to not do my job. We like this team. We definitely do not intend to change anything, and I would be shocked if something changes this season. We like where we're at. We want to continue to develop our guys, full stop. Will I listen to other teams? Of course I will. That's my job. But again, no, there's no part of me, there's no part of our decision-making process that suggests that we're looking to do anything big now or in the near term. We want this group to be as good as it can be this year, and then we'll evaluate things at the end of the year. But the hope is very much that this core group can lead us to where we want to go, and that from a transactional perspective, we're largely done. And what this quote tells me, is that Rafael Stone, when he drafted these players, that he believes in them. He is certain that the way that they've built their team, it is fully capable of developing and becoming a established team in the Western Conference and can lead them to a championship. Is it perfect now? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This team needs shooters. This team, again, 6 3-pointers in a Game 7. Really, it was 4, besides those 2 in garbage time. 4 throughout the entire game. Struggling to shoot the entire series. That is a clear indication of where this team needs to improve. I believe Rafael Stone, who, if he wants to keep Jalen Green, completely understandable. I understand if that's possibly changed regarding his performance in this first series, or in his first postseason series. But if he decides to keep him, he's probably going to be saying that, okay, this team needs shooters. If we get those shooters, if we get those reliable shot makers on the perimeter, this team can get past the first round, can get past the second round, because they were blitzing Jalen Green, their number 1 scorer all season, not every single play, but mostly why he was shut down this entire series. And if you get some people that makes the defense say, hey, we do have to cover this because that guy over there is locked down, then that opens the space for a guy like Jalen Green to continue to do what he was doing throughout the regular season and into the playoffs. And if Rafael Stone believes that that is his guy, then by no means does he have to contact Kevin Durant at all. And that's what this report tells me. He is invested in these group of guys to do what he knows they can do. Again, it was his first playoff series. It's not an excuse. By no means. Jalen Green said that himself. It's not an excuse. But there is definitely room to develop. In my mind, in Rafael Stone's mind, he has faith in these guys. Let me know what you guys think about Kevin Durant. For all I know, I feel like I haven't seen one positive Kevin Durant thing. I'm fairly certain nobody wants him on our team. Ultimately, that is up to Rafael Stone and what they decide to do in the front office. Katie, fantastic player, but let me know why you think Kevin Durant probably should not be on this team. And if not, what shooters should we go out and grab this offseason? And with that, this has been Rockets Digest. I am Donovan Ricondo, signing off.